Lesson 6. Determining a quadratic equation given its roots. When given the roots or the x-intercepts of a quadratic equation, it is possible to determine the equation for the family of quadratic equations with those particular roots. So remember, when you're given the roots or the x-intercepts of a quadratic equation, you can determine the equation for the family of quadratic equations with those particular roots. A group of functions with the same roots is known as a family of quadratic equations. So a group of functions with the same roots is always known as a family. All the functions in a family have the same roots. Remember, all the functions in a family will always have the same roots. So all the functions in this family have the same roots. They are -2 and 1. Those are the roots in this family. So this function goes from this quadrant to this quadrant. This function goes from this quadrant to this quadrant. This function goes from this quadrant to this quadrant. But all of these quadratics have the same roots, -2 and 1. And this quadratic is stretched more than this quadratic. So how do we find the equation of a family given the roots? First, we take the roots and write the factors of the quadratic equation in factored form. So in order to find the equation of a family, if you have the roots, you take the roots and you write the factors of the quadratic equation in factored form. Let's look at an example. Suppose the roots were x equals 4 and x equals 2. We could calculate the factors very easily. X equals 4 and x equals 2. In order to calculate the factors, what we do is we move 4 and 2 to the other side and isolate for 0. So x minus 4 equals 0 and x minus 2 equals 0. So the factors are x minus 4 and x minus 2. So we write the factors x minus 4 and x minus 2, and then we write the stretch variable in front, a. So y equals a times x minus 4 times x minus 2. Therefore, the equation for this family of functions would be f of x equals a times x minus 4 times x minus 2. So remember, we write the factors, and then we write the stretch variable in front. If given the roots of an equation and a point on the quadratic function, first find the family of the quadratic functions using the above method. So if you're given the roots and a point on the quadratic function, find the family of the quadratic functions using the above method. Then substitute the point into the equation. So then you substitute the point into the equation. This will allow you to find the value of a, which will allow you to compute the quadratic equation. So this allows you to find the value of a, which allows you to compute the quadratic equation. Let's look at an example. Suppose our roots were x equals 2 and x equals -3. A point on the quadratic equation is 0, 3. So the factors would be x minus 2 and x plus 3 because we isolate for 0 on one side. So we move the 2 to the other side and -3 to the other side. So our factors are x minus 2 and x plus 3. So the family of the quadratic equations with roots x equals 2 and x equals -3 are f of x equals a times x minus 2 times x plus 3. We write the factors and then we write the stretch variable. Now we substitute the given point 0, 3 into the function. So f at 0 equals 3. The y values, the y is replaced with 3 and the x is replaced with 0. So 3 is equal to a times 0 minus 2 times 0 plus 3. We simplify this, we get 0 minus 2 is -2, 0 plus 3 is 3, 3 times -2 is -6a, equals 3. We divide both sides by -6 to isolate a equals -1 over 2. In standard form, the equation is f of x equals a times the factors, which are x minus 2 times x plus 3. We already discovered that. Now we just substitute the value of a, which we discovered here, which we got here, into the function. F of x equals negative 1 over 2 times the factors multiplied by each other. X minus 2 times x plus 3 is x squared minus 2x plus 3x minus 6. Plus 3x minus 2x is plus x. Finally, we multiply the negative 1 over 2 by each term in the trinomial to get the standard form equation, to get the equation in standard form. So we get negative 1 over 2x squared plus minus 1 over 2x plus 3. With the above information, you will be able to solve many types of word problems. And that's all for lesson 6, determining a quadratic equation given its roots. Stay tuned for lesson 7, solving linear quadratic systems. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. And now, feel free to click on the cards on this page in order to visit lesson 7, our next lesson, or click on the playlist card to visit our playlist. Thank you for watching.